This happens a lot. I use my bike every day, and I lock it multiple times a day. And anytime I lock it and it hits one of these spokes, I get really annoyed by it. It's a small moment of just annoying bad luck. But how often does it happen? In my feeling, it happens almost every day. Is that true? Can I objectively look at this and maybe measure how many times it actually happens? And the answer is yes, but we gotta do some math. So how can we use math to measure my bad luck? Well, we can calculate the probability of the bike lock hitting one of these spokes. But how do we calculate that? I need to know the area of the spokes, and I need to know the circumference of the entire wheel at the point where the bike could hit one of the spokes. And when I divide those two numbers, I get the probability of the bike lock hitting the spoke. We're going to need the circumference of the circle. How do we calculate that? We're going to first measure the radius. We start at a point on the circle and we measure the distance to the middle, which is 30 centimeters approximately. And then we're going to multiply that by 2 pi. That is the formula for a circumference of a circle. Next, we're going to calculate the area of the spokes. So first we're going to need the number of spokes and then the width of each spoke. So the width is 3 millimeters and there are 36. So the width is 3 millimeters, which is 0.3 centimeters. 36 times 0.3 is 10.8 centimeters. That is the area of the spokes. So we have the circumference of a circle and we have the area of the spokes. So we divide 10.8 by 188.5 and we get 0.057. That's the probability of my bike lock hitting one of the spokes. But wait a minute. If the probability is 0.057, it should happen approximately 1 in 17 times. That's very little. Let's test that. So I'm gonna test it by locking my bike 100 times. And then if we lock it 100 times, we should get about 6 hits on the spokes. "24 times. That is much more than our expected 6. So either I'm just very unlucky or my calculation was wrong. Well, lucky for me, it turns out that the calculation is wrong. See, what I forgot to do was to take into account the width of the lock itself. When I measure that, it turns out to be 0.8 centimeters. So for each of the spokes, I have to add the width of the lock because it could hit the spoke at any place on the lock. So I add 0.8 to 0.3 for each spoke and then multiply by 36 to get 39.6. So the correct area of the spokes plus bike lock is 39.6, and if we divide that by 188.5, we get the correct probability of 0.21. The correct probability of 0.21 means that it happens about 1 in 5 times, and that's a lot worse than the 1 in 17. But I could look at this from a different way, that it goes right 4 out of 5 times. And I think we should do that with more things in life. Instead of remembering the bad moments, the annoying experiences, we tend to forget the good ones and the fortunate experiences. And I think that's the lesson I want to end with here today. Thank you for watching.